Many people find NFTs quite perplexing. Despite their popularity, many people haven't understood them well. So, in this video, you'll find out exactly what they are and why they are profitable, as well as how the purchasing procedure works.
You'll make more money.
Welcome to Cryptic, a channel that gives critical evaluation or analysis, especially in dealing with crypto. Everything regarding money, finance, investing, cryptocurrency, and blockchain-related topics including ICOs, NFTs, and yield farming. An NFT or non-fungible token is an example of a digital token or asset. Think of them as digital trade cards or digital artworks, for example. When you purchase an NFT, you are essentially purchasing the rights to that particular asset. Non-fungible indicates that it can't be modified once it's been formed. It cannot be split and it must be identifiable from other currencies. Unlike Bitcoin, a Bitcoin is identical to another Bitcoin. NFTs, on the other hand, are never the same. Also serves as a token. A token is a little bit of data that you possess. An NFT, when put together, is a token that you own and does not alter over time. That is all there is to it. But in technical terms, what precisely is NFT? NFTs, on the other hand, are simply a piece of data that belongs to a specific address. That piece of data belongs to whoever has a password to that address. This piece of information can be bought and sold to many addresses. That data is confirmed on a blockchain. And you may examine the owner's history, a trackable trait with an NFT. This CryptoPunk number 5217, for example, which sold for $5.59 million, is really simply a little URL that is held by an address.
Damn!
The only thing that person owns is a sliver of data. Now, that piece of input leads to a server that typically hosts an image, and whoever controls that server technically has the ability to modify the image. It is also crucial to understand what you're getting when you acquire an NFT. You are purchasing a piece of data that leads to a server that holds a picture or a GIF. You should be aware that the server has the ability to change the image or GIF. It's the particular piece of data on the blockchain that you actually possess. That small fragment of data that points to the server, not the connection to the server nor the image or the GIF. In some ways, buying an NFT is like getting a small bit of data that reflects something bigger. Similar to purchasing a stock. You're not owning the entire company when you buy a stock. You're not truly getting much from it, unless it's a dividend stock. This leads to the question, why would you really want to purchase an NFT in the first place? There are countless reasons for this. However, the majority of people purchase now because they consider NFTs to be collectibles in the investing category. So let's go over to the 4 primary factors that contribute to the value of an NFT. First and foremost, just like Bitcoin is recognized since it was the first cryptocurrency, the first NFTs of specific founders or businesses will be valuable as well. NBA cards, for example, are rapidly gaining popularity, and the most valuable cards are those made in the initial edition. Assume you have the first NFT in the United States. It will almost certainly be regarded as valuable. The usability of an NFT or its real-world advantages is the second factor that makes it valuable. Consider what would happen if Michael Jackson were still alive and sold 25 NFTs. You might have lifetime access to several of the shows he was part of, if you own one of them. Due to their real-world benefits, these NFTs would rapidly become popular and quite expensive. Personally, the only justification I would consider purchasing an NFT is if it provided a real-world advantage. And I believe that in the future, practically all NFTs will have this feature. For profit, creators will sell NFTs. In exchange, create a membership group or host a monthly group gathering or something similar. The third factor that determines how valuable an NFT is if it is unique or rare. Consider the Styronite, for example. In this case, anyone or a museum could have a duplicate of the Styronite in the room, but only one person or a museum has the rights to display it. In this situation, the original Vincent van Gogh artwork can be shown for all to see. The original United States Constitution or a Muhammad Ali sign and wearing gloves, for example, are both extremely rare.
I'm the prettiest sight in the ring today. That's my label.
Stanley only made 3 NFTs. Even if they're merely photos of Marvel characters, they'd be extremely valuable because they're only true originals. Others could have the photograph, but they'd never have the one created by Stan Lee. The last feature that I discovered that adds value to an NFT is its ownership history. So, who is your favorite celebrity, for example? Will Smith is my particular favorite.
You know I like to make an entrance.
Assume he chose to sell his sneakers and replace them with new ones. Maybe he spent $200 on those leather sneakers when he originally acquired them. But I'd be willing to pay $800 just to have the same sneakers worn by Will Smith. Now, the same may be said for NFTs. An image of a dog can be worth $1 million to someone if it's, at one point, held by LeBron James. Because of these, you should think about what makes an NFT profitable. Would it be the first of its type? Would it provide a real-world benefit? Is it rare, or was it owned by someone famous? When evaluating an NFT, you should consider these questions. Does buying Elon Musk's NFT of his first Twitter post for $1 million, for example, fulfill any of these criteria? Begin with the top of the list. Yes, it is the first NFT of that kind. Second, is it useful or does it give perks? Not at all.
Just think about it.
You really don't get to edit the tweet or use it to promote your business or anything else. Is it unique in any way? It is, of course, one of a kind. Finally, what is the history of its ownership? Either yes or no is the answer for this. Despite the fact that it is Elon Musk's first tweet, no one famous has yet to own the NFT in question. Maybe it was my tweet. For example, if it was owned by Kanye West, the response would be yes. However, only 2 of the boxes are checked in this case. In other words, if you buy his initial tweet, you are hoping that somebody will want to purchase it in the future for a higher price. Because holding that NFT isn't going to help you in any way. There is no use for it. You're either buying it as a novelty or as a way to make money. Unless Elon Musk declares one day that anyone who possesses that NFT will have a lunch with him once in a month. As the result, the price would rise. Okay, now that we've covered a little bit of the basics like NFTs, what and how, let's take a look at how fast they become popular. Take a look at last year's Google search trend. This is in fact what sparked the idea for this video. We made this to assist people because a lot of the information we were searching up could be confusing to plenty of individuals. So, if you think this video has clarified some things for you, please consider liking it and clicking that bell button to be notified for our new videos. Also, you might want to consider subscribing to a newer channel like us. It will really help us out. It actually took days to research, compose, and produce this video. Back to our topic. Is it possible for someone to copy your NFT? Is it possible for someone to duplicate your NFT? Yes, an NFT may be copied in the same way that any piece of art can be copied. However, because all NFTs keep track of their transaction history, the original NFT address can be traced back to the original inventor. It's also worth noting that a new NFT might be created that points to the same hosting address as the original NFT. Alternatively, they may direct it to a different address with the same picture or a GIF as the original. The value of an NFT should not be the image, but rather a piece of data. Let's put it this way. I could make a layup at a local gym, and Kyrie Irving could make a layup in front of 1,000 people watching. Despite the fact that they're essentially the same product, one has a lot more value. Although I'm doing the same thing as Kyrie, people will regard this layup far more than mine. Another concern you might have if you're new to the NFT market is how you purchase an NFT. Because it's actually relatively easy to get an NFT. It's almost as similar as buying a company's stock right now. Marketplaces are where the majority of NFTs are sold. Similar to the marketplaces on Amazon, Facebook, and eBay, but with the focus on NFTs. The fact that NFTs are frequently bought with Ethereum is one of the disadvantages of NFTs. Before you buy NFT items, you'll almost certainly need to acquire some legitimate Ethereum. Buying crypto and moving it to a wallet which you can purchase an NFT usually requires some crypto transfer knowledge. Because if you don't do it correctly, you risk losing all of your money. As a result, Below are the 4 most widely used NFT exchange spaces that offer customers to buy and sell NFTs: app.rarible.com, niftygateway.com, OpenSea.io, and superrare.co. As a result, the first step in purchasing an NFT is to make an account on that website. You would then need to purchase crypto there and then send it to the exchange's wallet. It's worth noting that NFT wallets are fairly comparable to just about any other cryptocurrency wallets out there. There is usually a public and a private key for them. The majority of them are established in the ERC-721 protocols for individuals who desire the technical details. In this video, though, I will avoid getting too technical. Finally, you can now truly pay for whichever NFT you're trying to acquire by bidding like an auction. These NFT will be attached in your account and then save in your wallet if you win. Then there's the following question: where do you keep your NFT? Now that you have paid for your NFT, you're probably wondering where you should keep it. You keep it in a wallet after all. You would like to ensure that showing your friends and family what you've just bought is safe and easy. A hardware wallet is now the best way to maintain track of your NFTs. Something similar to a Ledger Nano, where it could be used both offline and secured. However, if you prefer to keep it on the internet, there are a number of websites that can help you set up a wallet. Trustwallet.com, metamask.io, and ng.io are some popular choices. And this concludes our video explaining all about NFT. I hope you found it useful and it clarifies any misunderstandings. Forward this video to any friends or family members who might find it useful. Until next time.